Hey, howdy, it's me, Medicated Mark, coming to you from the bunker system located underneath the Arctic Villa found somewhere in the jungles of the Midwest. Today I'm coming to you with half of the stack of the full stack of records I got. Because I've been getting more records than I've had time or energy, the strength to make videos. I should just keep talking because I'll forget a bunch of stuff. But in the last video, Fred said, I could hardly hear you. I think Fred's had this complaint before. So when I process an audio, just do the audio, there's two, there's the video and then the sample, which is audio, and I process those so I don't clip any of the high or low notes in the spectrum that's set up. So I think the audio is loud enough there, and it's possible that the video audio could be a little lower. I mean, I'll pump that up a little bit, but I don't know. I can hear it okay here. I don't know what to say about that. So anyway, let's go on to the second story. The second story I've got is the Jeep I've got. The night I bought it new in 1988. That's right. I'm still driving it. I stopped driving in the winter at least a decade ago, so it hasn't rusted out. It's nothing special, but since I bought it new, I have fun driving it. And I have fun driving it because it's open, you know, and the air goes through. I never put the top up anymore. So I have a half top, like a sunbonnet, right? So the other day, and I've been in some rainstorms. Once I drove all the way from here, northern Kentucky, all the way down to the Smoky Mountains to do a solo backpacking trip. It was before the internet, right, a long time ago, and it was raining a little bit here, and I didn't think about it. You just couldn't look up the weather. You had to watch it, you know, the morning news or the evening news. So I thought it can't possibly rain all the way down, and it did. So when I got down there, it was pretty wet. And then I got caught once in hail, like locally. I'm sitting and the hail comes down, bang, bang, everybody stops, and I can see up ahead there's no hail, and people are sitting in the road, and I'm getting splattered by hail. Get the hell out of my way. So that was pretty bad. But never, I got caught in a storm it was just the worst storm in the 31 years or whatever it's been since I've been driving the thing. So it's nice out, there's blue sky, and there's some clouds. I go to Myers, and I'm checking out, and the woman behind the cash register says, "How's the weather outside?" And I went, "Fine." When I came in, and she pauses, and she listens, and there's thunder. She says, "There's thunder." I'm like, "Oh." And then I said, "I drove the Jeep, I don't have a top on." She goes, "Oh, you're probably going to get wet." I'm like, "What? Oh, I hope not. I don't like really driving in the rain unless I have to." So I go outside, and there's still blue patches of sky, and it's starting to rain a little. I get the groceries in before it's starting to sprinkle, right? I'm just going to drive home. There's no reason I should sit in it, right, in the parking lot. So I get out in the traffic, I go down, I make a turn, it starts raining, and I get down to the freeway. It's going over an overpass, you got to go under it, and then get down the on-ramp, and the skies just break open, and the wind starts, the wind comes through the underpass and makes this really ominous howling sound. I can see the little trees and the divider, the grassy divider, like going like this, and I can barely see anything else. I'm like, I'm in traffic, I got to get on. So I get on the freeway, and they've closed off 2 lanes ahead for construction, and so I'm on the brake, like the clutch. On the clutch for 10 minutes, just with this rain blowing in on. So then I get to the interchange, there's nothing to dry, right? I drive another minute, I'm back into the storm. You know, I just went on like a little cut-in, a little opening in the storm, so I'm back in the storm. I get to my off-ramp, I'm sitting at the light, then it starts hailing on me. It's just so, and there's lightning hitting all around, right? Yeah, I mean, it's like lightning, bang, thunder. And it rains on me all the way home. I get in the driveway and it just pretty much stops. And that much water on my floor. Anyway, that was the exciting story for a week ago. That's right. I was in that storm a week ago. I had bought a couple of records and one of them got damaged. But the other 2 were in shrink wrap. And they weren't too damaged. The water got in everywhere. Right? Then there was another story. I can't think. Oh, sort of on impulse, I bought a pool. That's right. It's been hot. And oh, it's right. My wife was talking about taking the dog, Luna, on a canoe trip. You just can't take the dog on a canoe trip. You got to prepare the dog. So, oh well, maybe we can get her like a flotation vest. Like, well, okay, they're $40. I'm gonna have to get. So anyway, I happened to be in getting her nails done at PetSmart, and they had flotation vests at 30% off. So I got her a flotation vest, and I'm thinking, well, you just can't put that on the dog and expect the dog to be comfortable, you know, in it or in water. So I went out and bought a pool for $50. It comes with a filter, a motor. It plugs in. It has a filter in it. It holds at least 1,000 gallons of water. So for the first time I put it up on the Overlook, which I know you don't know what that is, but it's fieldstone I put down. And anyway, the ground's kind of sloped or slanted, tilted over the years, so I knew it was going to be 5 inches off. But I thought, you know, it'll fill up so far, and we'll just turn it off, and it'll be, because it was kind of out of the way there. It got almost filled, and then the side gave way. On the downhill side, it lost all the water. So we put it in the driveway. Of course, that's what you do. You put your pool in the driveway. I put it on old packing blankets, I say, and it's quite level. Only an inch slope, and it filled up again into work spots. But now it's like, oh, you just can't put chlorine in it. And you buy chlorine tablets, and I just threw them in. That was wrong. It actually bleached the blue color off the vinyl or the plastic on the floor. Bleached it. You got to buy a floaty thing to put these chlorine tablets in, and then that's not enough because that will kill the algae, and then you got to buy some other chemical and put that in, and I still think there's bugs in it because I didn't buy a top for it, right? The top, I should have bought a top. Still might do that, so I buy a net to scoop the bugs. There's just so many things. But Luna loves it. We put her in there. I bought a tote that I could strap the top with some zip ties to keep it from coming off because they tend to float. I put a cinder block in it. I put it in the middle of it. So I made a safety island for Luna. I call it Luna's Safety Island. So I put that in there, and she gets on the safety island, and she's fine. Now she's comfortable enough. She sits down. I put her in the water and hold her, and let her back end. Eventually she'll let her relax and let her back paws go and float. The back end floats. So now she's starting to get the sense that she can paddle a little bit, and her head won't. The first time she just stepped off and did a header right down into the water. So, but now she knows that she can float a little bit, and her head won't sink. So we're getting her. I'm sure once she gets comfortable with it, she's got to be impossible to keep in the pool. She's just got, and when she jumps out, it's a bladder, so the whole side goes down. She did that yesterday, and my wife was sitting right there, and she got soaked with water. It was so funny. Wasn't my fault. All right, let's go right to the records. That's right. Day by Day, Frank Forcell. I think I've got this one. Of course you think you got it. You think you got all of them. But I don't know. Anyway, it's a nice cover. Nice, clean cover. This one I know I don't have. It's King Curtis. That Love and Feeling King Curtis. There he is on the back. Saxophone player, King Curtis on Atco. Atco Records. From Half Price, Full Price, Super High Price Books, which surprised me to find this in the dollar bin. I don't know. I always talk about who do they have pricing records, because they'll have like an easy listening section that's not down in the dollar bin, that's just stocked with stuff that's not worth $1, like Barbra Streisand and just horrible stuff. Barry Manilow, oh my God. But this Mark Denny album, it's interesting too because they just glued a piece of burlap, because burlap, when you think of burlap, you think of Exotica, right? Or sweet, just think of burlap wallpaper in a really fancy hotel room in Hawaii, maybe. I don't know, but anyway, it's a weird little cutout, a fold thing. So it was fun to find that, $1, even though I have it. Skyjacked, another great love songs. Love theme from the MGM film Skyjacked by the Mariana Strings. That's right, that'll be fun. And for $1, a nice copy of The Brash Menagerie, Enoch Light, 1973. Great album. There's two brass albums he made right about this time. that are really quite good. Caravelli and his magnificent strings. Great cover, great cheesecake cover. That's it, go on, move on. I probably got this one. I could remember. The cover's got a little bit of shelf wear on it, but the record's in really good shape. I love Mundo Ross. He's one of my favorite Latin guys. Patty Duke for $1. In this case, it's just Patty. She did make a record with her full name on it, but in this case, she was well known enough at this time to make the record Patty. Produced by her own business, Patty Duke Enterprises, Inc. production. There's a cover of the Beatles' Yesterday on this record, which I may or may not share. It's probably already on YouTube. Jackie DeShannon, everybody knows who she is except for me. I have no idea. I've heard the name, but I have no idea. Oh my God. Anyway, pick that up for $1. This looks interesting. Peter Nero, piano player, made some interesting pop records earlier on his career. This was 1967, which is kind of later. It seems like this is his attempt to make an exotica-flavored record, although there's a cover of the Beatles' Michelle, Winchester Cathedral, The Sounds of Silence, but there's some other standards on this, like Canadian Sunset. I don't know. Anyway, from the photograph it looks like that, okay? Right. This was fun. This went to the antique store. I think all these came from the antique store. Tammy in Fairyland. It's just a bizarre looking kind of photograph doll, Tammy. There's only 4 tracks, stories I guess, probably reissues from other. Now look, Tammy did a whole series of records. Now I'm going to have to get all of them. It's Tammy and her friends, Tammy's favorite fairy tales, Tammy's sing-along party, Tammy's big parade, Tammy's Merry Christmas. This is the first time I've seen any of these records. So now I know I'm going to have to get 4 more of them. Doris Day. I'm not a big fan of Doris Day. Why? The voice just never really captured my attention. But this cover is terrific. That's right. Doris in Hollywood. She was quite the beauty back in the day, and that's a wonderful photograph of her. And on Columbia, it's a wonderful cover on the Columbia label. The Ellen Copeland Singers. If Love Comes With It, what do you get? Cover of Classical Gas, Scarborough Fair medley, Wichita Lineman, and this for $1. This is a one dealer that sometimes I pick through that they just want to get rid of records, which is great. So this is a jazz record for $1. Jazzland, Happy Ground, Johnny Lytle Trio, Johnny Lytle Vibes, Mel Harris Orkins, and Peppy Hint Pant drums. That's right. I mispronounced that. I'm sure I did. That'll be fun to listen to. Tommy Dorsey with the Pied Pipers. I've got this, but with a different cover. I'm sure I've got a couple copies of that, but I don't think I have this copy, which I'm sure it's probably the same record. Don't know for sure, but I'm only guessing that it is. Saying, oh, I had to spend $5 on that. I hate that. Local records are going up, and the cover's boring. You have no idea what you're going to find on it. Philip Brown and the Gospel Melinettes. So it sounds like a guy singing with a female backup, which could be interesting. I think two women. Looks like, well, no, there's 4. Who knows? But it's a local. It's Artist Records out of Cincinnati. And this was another $1 record. Alfred Newman and his Hollywood Symphony Orchestra. It's a terrific cover. Music for your listening pleasure. Terrific black and white cover. And a Lionel Hampton album I don't have. Hallelujah Hamp. It's not gospel based. It's just there's one song titled Hallelujah on it, and there's other songs which aren't titled after gospel themes. Nelson Riddle, Love Tide. I don't think I have this one. This Nelson Riddle. This would be his attempt at doing an exotic record. He covers Valley High and Caravan, Sweet Lilani, Santana Solitude, Love Tide, stuff like that. And this is also local. I can't remember if I have it. Can you read that? Do you have any idea what that says? That's the name of the group. The Three of Us, right. Oh my God, it's a logo drawn, horrible hand-drawn colored pencil rendering of their logo. But they do it covered Windmills of Your Mind, that's right. They've got the jacket notes on the back written by Soupy Sales. You all remember Soupy Sales, right? They have a talent agent out of Cincinnati to, Evil Ways. There's a cover of Evil Ways on this, Enjoy to the World. Could be something fun on that. Speaking of fun, this was a fun cover. It will clean up when I put a little WD-40 on it. That's right, you think I'm kidding, but I'm not. It's Attilio Mineo and his orchestra, styled for you by Attilio. A couple of mannequins, and then the woman that sort of looks like a mannequin, but isn't. She's alive. Paris nightlife. But it's on Mercury. It's one of their double bookfold, gatefold, double fold Paris nightlife. Tony Marina. And a Nita Kerr album I don't have. You know, always seems like I'm always pulling one of those out of my butt every week. Nita Kerr, she made a lot of stuff, a lot of records. She was proliferous. Yeah, I said that 2 weeks in a row. I can't believe I remembered that. 1965, Nita Kerr. There's a photograph of her and her group. Also, for $1, a Bach Takes a Trip, the Pierre Gossez Jazz Quintet. G-O-S-S-E-Z. That could be fun. I'm pretty sure I got this, but I picked it up. This wasn't $1. This was like $3.50. That was probably $3.50 too. I think I'm into the dealer that charges more. He does charge more. He's got less good stock. He's charging more money for what he's got. But he only charged $3.50 for this, and I've already got it. But I had to get it again because it's got a really fine version of Fire on it, the Disco Fire. So I think I might resell that on eBay, depending on if this copy's better or not better. But here's your request. The Colony Club, Coburn's Colony Club. These guys played at Coburn's Colony Club. The records, they're out of Dayton. I don't know if the club was in Dayton. Taking a minute to look. Dayton's own Colony Club. Yes, indeed. It's a local. Dayton's just an hour north of here. These guys played in a club. I think it's Dixieland, called the Colony Club. Interesting. Jay Morganow, a little bit rough. Picked it up. It's a fine looking cover. That was $3.50. And last but not least, if only because it's on the bottom of the stack. When was this? 1976. It's got to be a re-release. The covers. It's okay. It's a fun photograph, but it's just horribly the production values in the printing of the cover. They spared no expense in the cheapness. They cheaped out, that's what I'm trying to say. But there's a cover of Love for Sale, Summertime, which is a 6-minute version of Summertime, Derek Smith and Venus. Sounds interesting, like an interesting name. Venus, who's that? They've got drums and flutes and congas and percussion and 3 guitars. And 4 singers. That must be Venus. It's a group, vocal group. So, I think that could be a lot of fun. So, oh my God, I had energy to do that. I went to the gym today and yesterday, and I just yawned my way through the workout. So, they've got an aerobics room, and for the year that they were doing the big construction to put in the family center, $3 million, was it? Or $93 million. I don't know. It was a huge amount of money. And I've never been over there because then they charge extra, like $3 to go jump on the trampoline. And I'm not going to do that. I'm a member. I pay a lot of money. Just so I can use the steam room, so I can go in and feel the slimy seats in the steam room. I pay for that. A lot of money. But they said that they were going to, the kids, they could have day camp kids, right? And for years they would come in the summer and they'd fill up the gym and they'd fill up the aerobics room, and it was noisy and it was annoying, right? And they said that was going to stop. And then they did it again this year after they got it all done. The kids are back. So it's not consistent. So I was in there today by myself. I figured out an hour before there might be kids coming in. And these two teenage girls come in. Well, the room's open. It's fine. That's fine. They come in, and they're giggling for about 10 minutes. So I'm doing yoga, which requires a certain amount of meditation on my part to get through the thing. This is just kind of how yoga is, right? So then she plugs her phone in these little mini speakers and turns this horrible monitor, you can't possibly call it music, up loud, so they could like do stretching or some kind of like kid dance moves or something. Like, I'm right there, you could see me, right? What do you think I think about this? Well, that's good music, isn't it? Why should we worry? What you think? You're old. That's right. Okay, that's the end of my stories for this video. Let's go upstairs and pick a musical sample. This is going to be fun.
You got to change your evil ways, baby, before I stop loving you. You've got to change, baby, and every word that I say is true. You got me running and hiding all over town, sneaking, peeping, running you down. This can't go on. Lord knows you got to change, baby, baby. When I come home, baby, my house is dark and my pots are cold. You're hanging round, baby, with Gene and Joan and who knows who. I'm getting and fooling around. I find somebody who won't make me feel like a clown. This can't go on. Lord knows you got to change. You've got to change, baby, before I stop loving you. You've got to change, baby, and every word that I say is true. You got me running and hiding all over town, sneaking, peeping, running you down. This can't go on. Yeah, 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 yeah. When I come home, now baby, my house is dark and my pots are cold. You're hanging round, baby, with Gene and Joan and who knows who. I'm getting tired of waiting and fooling around. I find somebody who won't make me feel like a clown. This can't go on. You've got to change, baby, before I stop loving you. You got to change. and every word that I say is true.